Hi everyone, this is Dan, and this is Jawbreakers Lost Souls by Richard C. Meyer, Jon Malin, and Brett R. Smith, along with a couple extra stories by Richard C. Meyer again, with art by Simon Bennett and Kelsey Shannon, and of course this freaking awesome cover by Ethan Van Sciver with colors by Kyle Ritter. So yeah, a lot of names getting thrown out there, and they actually, pretty much everybody involved in this project has a YouTube channel, and I'll put a link to their channel down below. Pretty awesome. So this is kind of the book that started it all. It is whether I guess people or the people involved with it, would say or so. I guess many would call this the book that started the Comicsgate phenomena. So I'm not going to go over the backstory behind all that. I just kind of want to focus on this book itself by itself. This cover's really cool. I think what's kind of interesting is this is the leader of the group, the Jawbreakers, but he's kind of here in the third background right here, along with this being Silkworm, and this is Cuffs, Devil Dog, Hell Priest, and Knife Hands. And I think it's kind of funny that Knife Hands is in the front because he talks the absolute least out of any of these characters. And it's almost like in order of who has the most dialogue to who has the least. So you figure it's like these guys would be in the front. But not a big deal. Knife Hands is a cool-ass character too. And this gets remedied in Jawbreakers God King as Cuffs and Silkworm are center stage. Cuffs being like by far my favorite character in this entire book. Anyway, I'm going to just open it up, and what I'd like to... So my last video I talked about Jim Shooter's sort of rules to writing a comic book and how that kind of relates to the dramatic structure and the old Freytag arc and pyramid that they talk about in the old college courses. And this book right here effectively accomplishes it really, really fast. Richard C. Meyer, your boy Zack, I'm just going to call him your boy Zack from here on out, he gets to the point real fast with this. And you open up, and here's a massive splash page of just beautiful Jon Malin art, freaking monster getting stabbed on the Eiffel Tower. These guys fly. Immediately you know, okay, this is Silkworm, or this is Silkworm from this dialogue, and then that's Cuffs from that dialogue. These guys are getting all kinds of action, people getting shot at. The guy in the red is Devil Dog really quickly. This freaking art piece right here is super cool. This is just a really cool action scene where these guys, hide right here. It's really awesome. And stuff moves. You also learn this guy right away gets introduced. That's Kill Switch. So here we are in you have a big G.I. Joe super group, and practically half of them get introduced in the first 2 pages. And the rest of them do take a while to get introduced, but they do get introduced effectively later. You get, the main, I guess, heroine, not really heroine of the story, but you can pick up this story later to figure that out. One thing that is a little confusing for me is trying to figure out what people's powers are. I understand that's like a common complaint of this book. And it is kind of interesting because he kind of they get tossed, and he makes all these parachutes in this glider, and you're sort of sitting here just oh, can he make psionic stuff and whatnot? Is that his power? I mean, you can kind of infer, but it's not really spelled out. And from what I've kind of watched of your boy Zack's videos, he kind of really likes that a lot. I don't know how I feel about it. But, there's enough detail in the art that I can figure it out, so it's not a big deal. Cuffs is freaking beastly strong. And now you're kind of getting introduced. This is Hell Priest. And then here's Knife Hands. Guy doesn't talk, just freaking Achilles heel wrecks this dude, or this gorilla. I don't want to go through all the stuff, but... there's the story's really fast paced, goes all over the place. Really, really cool artwork and scenes. Oh man, it's freaking awesome, dude. I love all these tiny little people just getting freaking wrecked. This awesome lettering right here. I think I watched a video of Eric Weathers explaining his philosophy behind lettering this, and it makes a lot of sense. I kind of get it because you got all these people just getting they're just getting brushed out the way by this massive gorilla. One complaint I have about Lost Souls, besides the confusion with the powers, is that there are a lot of characters. So spoiler alerts, right? I guess if you haven't gotten this book, please, and you're interested, please take a look at it. I think you can still get it on eBay. I think I heard your boy Zach was maybe going to do a second printing later on. I don't know. But there are characters in this story that get killed off, and it's a little confusing because it happens so quickly, and the panel dedicated to them sort of... where is it? This is... I'm just going to go to this... Yeah. This character right here is a really kind of creepy, cool character. And when he sort of passes on, you spend that much time with him, and it's just this tiny panel of him just disappearing. And it's a little jarring when you read it, because you're like, what the... Like, oh, he died, okay. And that happens to another character, too, where it's just kind of a small panel showing it. And it's a little confusing, though you can go back and kind of infer that, yeah, that character died. But... yeah, that's probably my biggest complaint. Is I feel like if a main character or somewhat important character to the story dies, I don't feel like it should be like a small panel. I feel like it should be something big. I don't know. That's just my personal opinion. Nothing. I'm not saying that it can't work with if you don't do it that way. I just feel like that's how it should be. So anyway, we'll go past Lost Souls right here. I don't give away too much. And go to the other two books, which is God King books 1 and 2, and this is the story that's going to get completed in the next volume by your boy Zack that he easily fundraised again, and this I really like God King book 1. This is really cool. This also follows just a perfect Jim Shooter structure. Characters get introduced, the situation gets explained very quickly, and he has like these really cool dialogue or narration folder boxes right here. I noticed that your boy Zach doesn't really like narration boxes much, which I think is unfortunate, because sometimes I think like some of the artwork has some dead space that he could do that, and I don't think it would hurt him, but I just think maybe aesthetically he likes it the other way. I don't know. I wish he would put more in there, but that's just my opinion. Man, this is just cool. Like, just raw action, just stuff happening and whatnot. Yeah, it's just freaking crazy, dude. Let me jump ahead. I don't want to go too crazy. And then we go to Jawbreakers book 2. I am not as big of a fan of Jawbreakers book 1 or book 2 as much as I am of book 1. And I think the reason why is I just feel like his fast pace maybe gets a little too fast in book 2. Especially at some parts. Like, so many new characters are getting introduced in book 2 in such a quick way that it's hard to kind of keep up. And, he doesn't, because he wants to keep up a quick pace, and there's not a lot of narration boxes. There's one section where there is narration boxes, and that helps a lot. I feel like these characters just get introduced and brought out, introduced and killed, and I'm like, whoa, what's going on here? But again, that's nothing new. I think other people have voiced that, so I guess I'll throw in my 2 cents. One thing I did like about book 2, at least for me, is just this really, really cool dialogue back and forth here at the end. And I'm not going to spoil it, but effectively it's a real cool build-up of Silkworm's character, and I really liked those 2 pages. Made me really like Silkworm a lot more, because before that he kind of was a bit of a dick, bit of a gruff character, right? And I still like Cuffs the most, because he's just freaking hilarious. There are jokes with Cuffs that are just freaking hilarious. Like, this whole freaking page here makes me freaking die. There's the first 2 pages with him also make me freaking laugh out loud. he's a hilarious character, and I can't wait to read more dialogue from your boy Zack with Cuffs. Definitely my favorite character. But yeah, man, overall, enjoyed the book. By the way, this is the remastered edition. I'm a scrub. I wasn't the guy who jumped in on the early days, but still got my copy, so happy to have it too. I'm overall, I enjoyed reading this, and there are like little technical things that bug me, but it's structurally a really sound book. There's not a problem with it as far as the storyline. There's just some jumps and details that get a little bit sped up a little too fast for my taste, but I still enjoyed the stories. Pretty much all of them were pretty enjoyable. So far I love the characters. I kind of like hope the next one, your boy Zack kind of slows down to build more of the lore up. Because this stuff is cool. It really is. And like I can see now, because I've been watching tons of his videos, and they're really entertaining and enjoyable. That's why he has so many subscribers. But you can also see that yeah, man, this guy's definitely a solid writer. And I can't wait to see more and more. And he also mentioned himself that he's taken a lot of the criticism and he's going to go put a lot of it into his next book. And I'm really excited to see what he does with it. But yeah, man, freaking awesome. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm going to wrap up this review. You can still get these off eBay. I'll leave the link down below for an eBay search of it. Other than that, I think a few lucky people picked it up. There was a double pack of this and God King in the Indiegogo campaign, so lucky guys right there. Guys and gals, I should say. And I think the next comic book I'm going to review, I'm either going to review Cyberfrog Blood Honey, or I think I'm going to review the Green Lantern Rebirth trade paperback, because I think that kind of explains Ethan Van Sciver very well first before we do Cyberfrog Blood Honey. And eventually I'm going to get back over to X-Men again. I especially want to do New Mutants. That's super underrated series that deserves some attention. But anyway, thanks. If you like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe. If you got any comments or anything you wanna yell out, let me know in the comments down below. And I'll talk to you next time.